Discovery video 194, Arlington Park on the poly track. The race is a maiden special weight. That is a 4-star preferred race. Let's look at those briefly. I'm here on the free area Horse Racing Digest page. I'm going to click on Discovery Video button. Here is the videos you can click and watch, and on the right hand side is the under the big red arrows my listing of the value odds and overlay preferred races. These races have shown me over my near 2 decades of research, these are the races that I have a better than average chance on getting a nice price value odds or overlay winner. Maiden special weight races. Actually, they're 4-star now. They've been upgraded from 3 to 4 stars. It's just not reflected on that page. But yes, absolutely, we are in the right race here. 4-star preferred race. The first thing I do in a preferred race is look for the value odds horse, and hopefully there is only one. And yes, it's just easier when there's one. I prefer races in which there is, like a 4 or 5-star, any preferred race in which there's one value odds horse. It just makes things simpler. Of course, we have methods on dealing with 2 and such, but it's just a lot less. It's just simpler. I like to keep things simple, as you probably know if you've watched previous videos. Number 1, Fire Tricks is the first-time starter in here, and as you can see, is the only first-time starter that got rated high enough to be in Group A. Well, why is that, you may ask? Well, you had, let's see, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 first-time starters. Well, I can give you one reason. The 97 workout points, 100 is my perfect number. This is a workout points, measures the pattern of workouts and the distance, not the speed or time of the workouts. And then you could say, well, okay, John, that horse has got a 97, but this other horse has got a 100. Yes, so obviously there's more to it than just that. Another thing is we take into consideration not so much the workout points as the workout points. Those are stronger than the workout icon. The workout icon indicates the horses had 1 or more workouts in very good time, in fast time. I don't weigh that as heavily as I do the workout points. And then there's stuff you can't see on the report that's included in when we rate a first-time starter, or any horse for that matter. And that would be, you have your, especially, well, I should say, let me rephrase that, especially in turf races and maiden races. And obviously this race is a maiden special weight on the poly track at Arlington. So, I'm looking, we're looking for some sort of pedigree that mixes well. The sire, Hat Trick, is Japanese bred, is the champion, as a racehorse, was a champion miler on the turf. That's pretty much what they run over there. But his offspring have won, interestingly, his offspring have won on both turf and dirt. And as you can see, the broodmare sire, the dam sire Favorite Trick, was a champion and a horse of the year in his own right. So what you have here, and of course that would be on dirt. So what you have here is a very good cross of champion over champion, turf over dirt. And what I find to be true when I'm rating a horse first-time starter on a poly track or an all-weather track in general, I like to look at the pedigree. And the horse may not have like one of these icons. In other words, the sire, in this case El Corregidor, has gotten a lot of good winners, or several winners on the all-weather track. Is it what you call an all-weather sire? There are pedigree combinations that together, in my book, make sense. If you have a sire that was a champion miler on the grass, and you have a dam sire, and that DNA was a champion on the dirt. I think if you mix that together, this is gambling. We're gambling for, what are we gambling for? Is the purpose, which is the most important thing. And I'm getting ahead of myself, because what if they bet Fire Tricks down the 5-1? Am I still going to bet that horse? The answer would be no. And this is the screen I wanted. Here's how the odds look near post time. All this other stuff we talked about is basically just the story of the horse. And usually I go to this page first, because this is actually the elimination page, if there's going to be an elimination. Here's your Group A horses, and your odds near post time on your Group A horses. The 2 horse was 4-1. The 6 horse, with a 3rd place finish at Arlington and career debut at 5-2. Well, that makes sense. The 5 horse with a 2nd place finish at Arlington at 4-1. All that makes sense there. With that's where the money's going, makes sense. But totally off the map is Fire Tricks, our value odds horse, at 20-1. The betting public, well, I think they look at pedigree, and they might just be now coming around to all-weather pedigree. I'm not really sure if they really are yet, but they certainly wouldn't think about crossing about how the cross and the nicks work with the turf and the dirt, especially dealing with a horse that sire was bred in another country like Japan. It was, the Japan breds are very unknown and mysterious, and as a matter of fact, people kind of steer clear of those types of horses, because this horse obviously was foaled in Illinois, but his sire was a Japanese bred. And the betting public, they don't like what they're not aware of, or what they are informed of. All they know is Sunday Silence. That's all they know. And he's produced more horses than the Yankees have won World Series times 20. So 20-1 here. Obviously the elephant in the room. Okay, at this point I'm interested. Now, it would be at this point that I should have went and talked about the things that I have talked about up until this point, about workouts, and the workout points being important, the workout rating being important. But this is the reason why, like you may ask, well, John, the 9 horse has a perfect 100 workout points, and why is he not rated up higher? Well, he doesn't have the extra bump for the workout icon, and that's A. And B, she doesn't have the pedigree mix that I like for Polytrack. Now remember, like I said, this is gambling. In any form of gambling, you're taking a risk. And I am risking that my information, that my belief as far as pedigree is concerned for Polytracks, so all-weather tracks, is worth the risk at 20-1. That's basically what I'm saying here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the bet together. That now we're at stage 2. Proven wagering strategies. Always put down the win bet first, even if you're going to bet exotic wagers like trifecta or whatever. Because if you miss the trifecta and you have a key 20-1 horse, that's pain and misery we've all felt before, and there's no need to, as long as you get your win bet down first. For these videos, I go $14 to win. Your bet could be more or less depending on your bankroll. Your bet might be $2 to win. If you're in a situation where you want to build your bankroll up, a lot of our members have done that. Have done just that. But even players with big bankrolls bet only to win. It's a very good conservative approach. Next up is the exacta. I always wheel my key horse in the exacta. So I'd have a $2 exacta, 1 all. Daily doubles. I got rolling doubles, so I would obviously be coming into this race with an all one double, going out with a 1 all double. So at this point, if my horse wins, I'm guaranteed the doubles, the exacta, and that $14 win bet. Now, for those that have bankroll for trifecta, the strategy is as follows: 1 on top, all by herself. Second position, 2, 6, 5, 3. That's the rest of Group A and the top horse in Group B. All for third, all for fourth. Now, the exciting pick threes and pick fours, which I absolutely love. I have a very, very, very simple strategy. You probably know it already if you've watched other videos. We're gonna single our special horse in the special race at high odds, and in the other races of the pick three and pick four, who are we gonna play? We're simply going to play the Group A horses, and that's it. And then use our special horse here as the single in the pick three and pick four. I've got bad news and I've got good news. The bad news is we missed the try and super by 1 horse, but the pick threes that we hit more than made up for it at exactly 20-1 odds. Oh, by the way, I failed to mention Sean Bridgemahan, hot jockey, having a very, very good meet. That's another factor that needs to be taken into account. If you have a hot jockey, hot horse, the old saying. Okay, Bridgemahan having a very good meet. Not a surprise there at Arlington Park. But look where where was your favorite here? Right there. Off the board. Favorite off the board. Second favorite off the board. Third favorite off the board. Okay, this is why we go after these preferred races, because we usually get situations, frequently get situations like this. $42 on the Win Mutual, and this is why I like to wheel the exacta. $496.60, because I frequently get a price underneath. And like I said, we hit all our wagers except for the try and super. Here's the return. $14 win bet, $294. $2 exacta, $455.80. Like I showed you there, the daily doubles. One returned really nice, but it was like $134.20 and $592. That's another reason why I like to wheel doubles. But check out these pick threes for $1. Remember, all we did was key our special horse special race with the Group A horses in the other 2 races. Dollar returned 1,644, and the dollar on the other one returned 1,175. Total haul 4,295. And I titled this video, Experience the Thrill of Unexpected First-Time Starter Brilliance. Full card reports, very live first-time starter play. I discussed with you some of the things you can see on the report and some of the things you cannot see that's factored in to making that, which was factored in to making that horse the value odds pick. I factored in, it's in the program to factor European pedigree, and especially champion. If you have a sire or a dam sire that's a champion, either on one side or both sides, on grass and a mix of grass and turf, you are likely going to get a horse that's going to take to the poly track. And at 20-1 odds, it was worth finding out. We took the gamble, which all of it's gambling. Whether you bet on a 4 to 5 shot or a 20-1 horse, it's still gambling. Your horse still has to win. But I like to get the best odds, and that's what we do. We're looking for the highest overlay odds possible in the best situations. And this is all for long-term profit. And you definitely want to use the Horse Racing Digest page, the free area. You can click on that button there. It takes you to the page with all the videos. You can click and watch those. I suggest you watch this video 3 times in order to retain everything that I said. I said a lot of things that you can make money with. So you might, definitely want to watch this video 3 times to retain more. And also my first book is free online here, 36 Proven Winning Overlay Angles. Time tested over almost 2 decades now. Still to work like gold. And of course all the other articles I've written over the years to help you understand how to read the reports and let the reports tell you a story. That's what the reports do. They tell you a story. Your job is to apply the proven wagering strategies and stage 3 bankroll management. I mean, we must have a we must have a cough button, but we don't. We must have a some kind of management for our money. You can call it money management, you can call it bankroll management, but it's the third stage. It's just as important as stage 1 and stage 2. You have to take your horse racing bankroll, separate it from all the other money you may possess. That's your bankroll for horse racing, and you want to maximize 1% of that per race that you bet if you want to pretty much guarantee that you'll never tap out. Because you're going to have winning streaks and you're going to have losing streaks. That's horse racing. You're going to have streaks where there's all favorites winning, and then you're going to have streaks where there's a lot of long shots winning. That's horse racing. It has a lot to do with the condition book and how the races are carded, how the horses are entered by the trainers. It has nothing to do with the moon stages or anything else. I correlate it to the tide coming in and going out, the high tide, the low tide, the sun appearing and disappearing, the moon doing the same, you driving one way to work and driving the opposite way home. Everything is a yin and a yang, a positive and a negative. It's the same thing as horse racing. Horse racing is no different than the rest of the world. Okay? You're going to have patterns. And the better players are going to be the ones who recognize the patterns. Now, if you're drinking alcohol while you're wagering, that's going to screw up your brain. I'm not, I'm talking about this in bankroll management section because, in a sense, it does have something to do directly with your money. If you are drinking alcohol, and I'm not here to, to say alcohol is something you shouldn't partake in, but just wait till after the races is all I'm saying. The reason being is because you cannot think correctly and effectively while drinking alcohol. Even after one drink, the brain functions off kilter. The brain does not function as good as it's supposed to. After the second drink, it's really messed up. So, keep the beer and the wine and the spirits for after the races. This is, of course, assuming you want to make a long-term profit. I'm not forcing you to do that, but I'm supposing that most of you who are watching these videos are looking for a long-term profit. So this is all part of it. But bankroll management, like I said, another part of the bankroll management is quit while you're ahead. If you hit in that particular race, be done for the day. In other words, don't give it back to him. It's not track money. Just because you won $4,000 doesn't mean it's $4,000 of track money. It's not. It's your money. So don't be throwing it around in every direction just because you had a big hit. A lot of players do that, and they end up losing all their winnings and then some. So quit while you're ahead. If you have to stick around, play $2. Be a $2 bettor. When I hit for something like that, 4 or 5 grand, whatever, I become a $2 bettor the rest of the day, because the law of averages, the law of probabilities tells me that I have a better chance tomorrow to make another big score than I do making a second big score today. That is the simple laws of probabilities. It's just like your basic laws of science. and your basic laws of math and your basic laws of everything on this earth. The law of probabilities has been proven for I don't know how many hundreds of years, but you're going to have a much better chance on getting another big winner tomorrow or next week if you're a weekend player. Or switch tracks, because the likelihood of you hitting another big one, you personally hitting another big one at Arlington is not that good. It's not that good at all. I mean, it does happen. Don't get me wrong. There are times when you're going to have two value odds winners, but over the long haul, which is what we focus on, the long haul, the long-term profit, you're better off switching to a different track that hasn't had a value odds winner yet that day. Okay? Then there, the laws of probabilities are on your side, especially. Okay? And then, of course, there's always racing tomorrow. There's racing 364 days a year, with the exception of Christmas Day. It's the only day they don't have horse racing. So relax. There's always going to be more racing. Just practice some patience. It's hard to do, I know. Believe me, I know. But patience, bankroll management, proven wagering strategies, learn how to read the reports, let them tell you a story. All of this is your recipe for what? Long-term profit as a horse player. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck.